Hey, good morning, fam. It's your boy Josh. We survived another Heat slate. Man, how good does it feel to no longer have to deal with that series anymore? And Jimmy Butler put his old team away, and after the game he even mentioned that he wishes Embiid was still his teammate. And he asked, Tobias over me? In typical playoff elimination, Harden showed up, or actually didn't show up. He scored 0 points in the second half and completely disappeared as usual. He is now 1 of 8 in his last 9 elimination games. Man, that's rough. So, farewell Sixers. It was a good run, and unfortunate that Embiid suffered so many injuries in the playoffs. And I will definitely miss Gunn's Doc voice. Classic times. And Luka did Luka things like we expected and finished with almost a triple dub, while his nemesis D-Book struggled big time with 8 turnovers and didn't even finish with more than 20 points. Luka did not disappoint, and he showed why he's one of the best in the league. The Mavs will be scary next year if Cuban can surround him with the right pieces. Today we have 2 more elimination games, and it's Friday the 13th. So, let's get hunting. The Celtics at Bucks has a 2-point spread and a 211 implied total. The Celtics have their backs against the wall and have to keep their season alive by taking down the armored Titan on his home court, so it will be very tough. But this defense is built for times like these. However, their offense really needs adjustment. They can't rely on Tatum's ISO ball where he takes 30 plus shots. With that said, I do like the big three's fantasy points, including Horford, Tatum, and Brown. They will be in desperation mode and will hustle and do whatever it takes to stay alive in this series. And Derek White is playing big minutes with Robert Williams out, and he's filling the stat line, so we can't target his fantasy points too. And Marcus Smart got robbed and embarrassed by Drew's defense, so I think he gets inspired and motivated to show why he's the defensive player of the year by racking up stocks today. So I really like his 1.5 block plus steal prop. We also need to wait on Robert Williams' news to see if he will play, so keep an eye out for that. The Armored Titan continues to show why he is the best baller in the world. He's taking down the best defense in the league and putting the team on his back even without Middleton. So his fantasy and real points are always live, and his sidekick Drew has been so clutch in this series on both sides of the ball, so we can consider his fantasy points and playmaking too. And Pat Connaughton has played an important role with Middleton out, and he's playing 30 plus minutes, so his 18 fantasy points is also in play. It's very hard to predict the center rotation in minutes between Brolo and Bobby, so I will most likely fade both. The Grizzlies at Warriors has a 9-point spread and a 218 implied total. This has turned into a whole new series ever since Morant went down and Steven Adams reappeared. This Grizzlies squad without Morant is a complete mismatch for the undersized Warriors. Adams is dominating the paint and glass, so I will target his first half fantasy points and rebounds. And Tyus Jones has been very efficient on offense with both his scoring and playmaking, so his fantasy points will also be a key target of mine. And the Warriors have no answer for Triple J. He's dominating on offense and defense with Adams back in the lineup. He has free access to roam around and pick up blocks through his help defense. He should feast again today. And Villain Brooks will get booed every time he touches the ball again, so he might look to play make more and dish it out, so we can target his 3.5 assists as well. And Kyle Anderson's size and length is another mismatch, so we can consider his fantasy points too. Just lock and load this Memphis squad again. They have found their edge and confidence in this series. They are younger, faster, and bigger than the Warriors. The Warriors are really struggling, especially the big three. I just think Father Time is catching up, and everyone expects them to get hot and score in flurries like it's 2016 again. But Klay is not the same after 2 major injuries, and Steph tends to disappear in clutch times. So I'm not very confident that they will all of a sudden find their shot and go off today. This Memphis defense is giving them serious problems, especially in the paint. But Dre will go down fighting, so I like his props the most on the Warriors, including his 7.5 rebounds and 6.5 assists. Steph and Klay will obviously chuck it from 3 all night long, and it will be needed if they want to win this game, so their 3-point props are in play. And Wiggins was not motivated last game and gave up early in the second quarter, but he will be needed big time, especially with Otto possibly being out. Thus, we can consider his 5.5 rebounds again. And this new defensive unit is giving Poole serious problems as he can't find open lanes to the basket anymore, so he might look to dish it out more. So let's recap our favorite targets so far. First, Steven Adams' first half fantasy points or rebounds. Second, Tyus Jones fantasy points or 16.5 points. Third, Jaren Jackson's fantasy points or 17.5 points. And fourth, Horford's 34 fantasy points or 8.5 rebounds. And fifth, Tatum's 46 fantasy points. And lastly, Draymond's 7.5 rebounds or 6.5 assists. And honorable mention, Marcus Smart's 1.5 block plus steal. Mismatches are exploited even more so in the playoffs, and we're seeing that in this Grizzlies-Warriors series. Some mismatches are just too large to overcome, but these should be great games today and gritty battles. So come join us later today at 4 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. Me and Gunn will hunt these props down, and we will come up with game theories and scripts to help you find an edge. So as always, best of luck everyone. I hope you crush it, and take care.